The will of God is already established. And the reason why is that Jesus Christ fights for the fulfillment of his will. The other day, while meditating and just thinking upon the vision that God's given me, it's natural for me at times to doubt God, because the vision that he's birthed within my soul is huge. So I question God, how is this going to look and be played out in my life? And the Lord led me to a passage in the book of Joshua at verse 13 in chapter 5. When Joshua was by Jericho, he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, a man was standing before him with his drawn sword in his hand. And Joshua went to him and said to him, Are you for us or for our adversaries? And he said, No, but I am the commander of the army of the Lord. Now I have come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth and worshipped, and said to him, What does my Lord say to his servant? And the commander of the Lord's army said to Joshua, Take off your sandals from your feet, for the place where you are standing is holy. And Joshua did so. And a man was standing before him with his drawn sword in his hand. See, many theologians believe that this angel of the Lord was a pre-incarnate form of Jesus. And with his sword in his hand, symbolizing and representing the preparation and the activity of Jesus, of the angel of the Lord, already in war mode, ready to conquer the inhabitants of the land of Canaan that Israel was waiting to face. Because we know that Yahweh promised unto Abraham and to the nation of Israel that the entire land of Canaan would be Israel's. So surely Joshua faced doubt internally, unsure of how this was going to look in his life, that he was going to be used by the Lord to lead Israel to receive the promised land of Canaan. So the question and the challenge for you today is, I'm unsure of what you're facing in life when it comes to a vision God's given you, and you questioning how it's going to look and play out. But the reality is this, that if it's the will of God, of course he uses you, he uses us as his people, as his agents to fulfill his will. But ultimately, it's not you and it's not me. It's Jesus Christ. Through the power of the presence of his Spirit abiding within us, it's him who fulfills and establishes his will. So whenever you're facing giants, when you're facing the inhabitants of the land the Lord's promised you to possess, whenever you're on the threshold and the cusp of the vision, and you're seeking to be used by the Lord to achieve it, to attain it, to see it fulfilled, and doubt arises and you're unsure, remember that if you know it's the will of God, that Jesus has a sword already drawn in his hand, and he's fighting for his will, because it's all about his glorification and the furtherance of his kingdom. And that will give you confidence.